Yo, Dr. Cash in the mix.
Abia. Easy.
Sash on the bed.
Now so. See.
Hello. Hi. Welcome to Bible Tarot Reiki. And I want to thank you for visiting the channel. I also wanted to bring out that the music from Levetosee is in the background. You hear it. He is wanting to speak to you through his music. So whatever it is that you're picking up through his music, it's going to be unique to you, and a message from him to you. So we hope that you enjoy that. Also, I am bringing out some information about today about what we're calling Day of the Wild Call. Now, I do use this book for the videos, and this is The Secret Language of Birthdays. And the reason that I like to use this book, I've been using it for a while, before I even started these videos. This is only the second video, because I like the information about the energies that are prominent for the day. And so each day brings with it its own energy. And of course, that's going to be unique to each and every day. But there are certain formulas that are going to be constant, right? For everybody. And so we're going to talk about those things, right? Because when you were born, depending on where you were born and what time and what year and all of those things are going to go into the mix too. And that's going to make you very unique. So, but we're talking about the things that are common, right? And I don't necessarily want you to think that this is a reading for only the people who are born today, because this reading is timeless. And because whatever was in the mix of you when you were born, it follows you throughout your whole life. So this mix is going to affect your whole life, right? So we're talking about today, and I just wanted to kind of skim this. We're talking about people who, again, are identify very greatly with what it is that they do. Okay, so and this is and because it's called Day of the Wild Call, what they do is kind of unusual. So let me just kind of look through this list here, and we're talking about writers, we're talking about political people, orators, civil rights leaders, radio personalities, military commanders, spiritual teachers, comedians, gamblers, right? Athletes, actresses, singers, people who are in what we call the limelight. And not just that, but they're kind of unusual. They're kind of, what we call over-the-top personalities, okay? So what we want to do is, and if that's you, congratulations. You're making a living in a field that is kind of hard to get, kind of hard to make it in. So if this is you, congratulations. If this is you becoming, well, we're going to encourage you, right? We're going to encourage you because that's a beautiful thing. So what we want to say is that when you pick it, whatever, and I don't really think people pick in their lives so much as there are choices. You can step into what you came here to do. You can go the other direction. You can kind of have one foot in it for a while and get out. And there's different ways of living your life, right? Because we all have free will. We can step into whatever it was that we came here to do, and we can decide, no, I decide not to do that. So if you are stepping into what you came here to do, and I believe that you would not be able to accomplish such great feats if you were not called to it, because it's going to take a unique personality to become successful in some of these things, right? Writers and politicians and actors and singers and on and on, right? Musicians. Okay. So the one of the pitfalls that happens is that you build up the career, the thing that people can see. You're doing very well in what is the people can see, right? But what about the inner you, the things that people cannot see, the hidden you, the real you, right? And we're talking about the things, the morals, the ethics, the spirituality that you personally identify with, or that you stand to, right? They say if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And that happens a lot, unfortunately, because we don't put as much time into spiritual things. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your own moral code, right? Your own, whatever it is that you decide is important to you, decide, right? Make a decision. What am I going to adhere to? What are my standards? What are my principles, right? These are very important things to have also alongside that outside personality that the world knows very well. So, also on the other hand, you can be very self-sacrificing, right? You can want to affect the world in positive ways, and you're willing to make great sacrifices to do that. Now, that's a beautiful thing, of course. We love you for it. Thank you. But there's another side to that also, because what can happen is that people can take advantage of you. They see that, they smell it, right? They smell it on you. So they know that you are kind-hearted, that you are wanting to give, that you're wanting to do. And so they're like, well, I can manipulate that for my own purposes. And we see that happens a lot to people who are in this realm, right? In this sphere of over-the-top personality, career type, And a lot of times that comes with money, right? Comes with money. So anytime you have money is like light, all the mobs come. And what happens to your stuff when the mobs come, right? It gets eaten away, right? It gets eaten away. So you have to have protection, right? You have to have protection. What is your protection? Your protection is your spirituality. Whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, right? Your code, your ethics, your moral standing, your defenses, right? And you have to have that. No matter how beautiful, loving, kind, angelic, right? Self-sacrificing. It makes me think of our Archangel Michael, right? Because he's so loving, so giving, and so kind. But he also has a sword, right? He has a sword, and he will cut you if you're now out of line. So, we all have to step into that. We can be kind, we can be loving, we can be giving, we can be self-sacrificing. But we also have to have that sword, right? We have to have that line in the sand that nobody can cross, right? And you cross that line to your own detriment, right? And so if we don't have that, then the line gets crossed, the mobs come and eat up everything that you are, and you're just left, right? Okay. So another thing that can happen is you can get, there's the kind that are self-sacrificing, and then there's the kind that are self-absorbed, right? So it's like the opposing sides, self-sacrificing, self-absorbed. If you become self-absorbed, again, it's an imbalance. What's going to happen is you will not, this is kind of a deep one. You will not have the people in your life who you need to help you. And nobody is an island, right? No, excuse me, my nose itches when I'm channeling. Nobody is an island. Everybody needs help, right? You need help to do something. You can't do it all your own. So you become self-absorbed. Then what happens is people are not obliged to, look out for your interests at all. So what comes to mind is Ebenezer Scrooge laying on his bed, and his maid has taken his nightshirt, his bed covers, right, everything, and just left him laying there. And the shopkeeper that she took the stuff to pawn said, "You just left him laying there." She's like, "Well, you should have been a better person, right?" So, I mean, that's kind of a over the top example, but you get my meaning. Okay. All right. So also, because you're so good at what you do, you feel like you're the king of your world, and you are the queen of your world, and you are, right? And nobody's going to take that away from you. But you must have advisors. There must be somebody that you want to listen to, somebody that you will take advice from, so that you can heed warnings, right? So no matter who you are, kings, religious leaders, everybody needs to have counsel, right? And they need to be able to heed that counsel when appropriate. Okay, so the card that Spirit led me to when I was looking into today, what the energies were for today, is the Hangman, right? The Hangman, because of all of the gifts that you have as this person, this wild call career individual, this person who is over the top, has all these things. You also need to understand that you're just human, right? You're human. The Hang card talks about being human. The Hang card talks about seeing the need for spirituality, right? The need to and I'm going to show it to you. This is a vice versa deck. It has a picture on each side. So I see this picture here on this side as how the world sees you, right? And I see when the picture here is that this is your inner self. This is your spiritual self. The side that most people do not see. Some people may see some of it, but this is hidden. This is you, right? You may not share some aspects at all ever, right? And that is your choice. But this Hangman here says that we do understand that we are human, that there are certain things that we must do to preserve ourselves, to be balanced, to be whole, to have a full and meaningful experience here on the earth. So I am going to read a scripture because I believe that, again, spirituality is the backbone of every person. I really do believe that. I have studied the Bible forward, backward, upside down, and in the dark. I have studied the Bible, and I believe it to be more than what is brought out in most religions. Okay, and as we go forward, I'll talk more and more about that. Right now, I prayed over the Bible. That's what I do. I pray over the Bible, and then I ask God to let me open up to the page where He wants me to read and bring out to you today. So what I did that, I was taken to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah 52, and really that whole chapter. Now that chapter is talking about the fall of Jerusalem. Now, the way that I see it in my studies, Jerusalem is the solar plexus chakra of the body. The solar plexus is right under the heart. It is the central part of the body. It's where you get your self-worth, right? So it's the capital of your body. It's yellow like a sun, and it is your strength. So when the Bible is talking about the fall of Jerusalem, it's talking about your chakra being off of balance, in my opinion. This is what I get from my studies, right? And you're having what we call a tower, a tower moment, right? Is what we call in the industry a tower moment. In other words, your Jerusalem is being attacked, is being destroyed. Somehow, some way, your defenses have fallen, like we were talking about before. You're self-sacrificing or you're self-absorbed, either which way. But you don't have your defenses in line. You don't have that spirituality, that morality, that ethical code that you live by. It's not there. And so now you have been invaded. Now your tower is being destroyed. You are being kicked out of your tower, and somebody else is taking over. So you're feeling invaded. You're feeling abused. You're feeling maligned, right? You're feeling like your world has been overrun, and it has been, right? The fall of Jerusalem, the destruction of the temple. Okay, so not only did Jerusalem fall, but again, your spirituality was, because it wasn't there, it wasn't on par. Whatever you did have was taken away, gone, right? City overrun, spirituality temple gone, right? And so now you're just kind of wondering what the heck happened, why it happened, what you're going to do about it, all them kind of things, right? So I'm going to pull some cards on what messages we're going to get today from Spirit to help with these kind of situations. And these tower moments come, everybody has them. No matter who you are, what you do in life. And it's always about how we react to the tower moment, not necessarily what prompted the tower moment, because we can start to think, oh, poor me, this person did this, that person did that, and be looking at what is not important necessarily. Yeah, of course, it's important who hurt us, but the most important thing is how we deal with the hurt, what we do with the information that we got from the situation. Okay. So we have the warrior of scarabs, Marianu charioteer. We have Amun-Ra, the emperor. We have the three Ankhs. And we have, what is this? The Atet, the chariot in reverse. Okay. I'm sorry, there was an interruption. Anyway, the three of Ankhs, right? This is talking about happiness, celebration. So again, when we're talking about that solar plexus, this is the seat of your joy, the seat of your command central, right? That's where you sit. That is where your strength is, and that's where your happiness resides, in that solar plexus, right? Here we have the Chariot in reverse. What's it called? The Chariot in reverse, right? Because what's happening is what is going on in your solar plexus is being blocked. And so you're not exhibiting your power like you should be. It's not coming out. It's not flowing. It's not moving like a chariot, right? It's blocked somehow by whatever circumstance you find yourself in. And the reason for that, again, is because you haven't put you don't have your defenses in place, right? And so you're being overrun. So whether you're self-sacrificing, you're self-absorbed, neither one of these things are bad in and of themselves, right? Because they make you who you are. They make you good at what you're doing, okay? But what we're trying to do is balance that out, right? So to balance that out, you need to have that solar plexus strong, right? That inner Jerusalem. And because the inner Jerusalem is strong, is guarded, is safe, nobody can invade it. Your temple is not going to be destroyed. You're not going to have a temple moment. What did I do with that card? Yep. Your tower, right? Your tower cannot be destroyed, right? Because once your temple is destroyed, your spirituality is destroyed. Even if you think you don't have spirituality. But you know how they say your spirit is down? Regardless of whether you feel that you're a spiritual person or not, you're a spiritual person, you're a spiritual entity, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So whatever else you want to call it, whatever else you want to think about it, your spirit is down when somebody invades your temple. And the only reason they can invade your temple is because your Jerusalem, your inner Jerusalem has been invaded, okay? And so what we need to do is get back in there and build that up, right? Build it back up. So let's pull some more cards. Let's see. I'm called to this pile right here. I'm going to pull a couple of cards. What does Spirit want to say? What more for this collective? Let's get a couple more. I like to have bridges. Oh, what do we got? That's too many. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there are two. One was hiding. Okay, we got root chakra, right? Root chakra. It's making sense. We got earth star chakra. Okay, we got the chakras coming out. Okay. And one more. Sacral chakra. So we're into the chakras today, right? We've been talking about the solar plexus chakra, which is right under your rib cage. But we're also going to talk about some of these other chakras. So the root chakra is about being grounded and centered, right? Centralized, right? So being grounded into the ground like a big tree that has roots that go way down into the ground. So no matter what comes, whether it be, a storm or an earthquake or whatever it is, those roots go way, way down, and it's not easily toppled. And so what we're talking about here is your ethics, your code, your morality, your, what things you are standing for in your life, right? Outside of your career. Your career is important, but this is something else. This is the inner you. That career is the outer you, right? But we're talking about the inner you today. So you want to grow those roots deep, deep, deep. Root chakra, right? You want to have roots so deep that, nobody can get to you. Earth star chakra. Okay. Now, this is going even deeper, right? Earth star chakra. Yeah. So again, these roots. Okay, let me back up. These roots take you down into the earth, right? The Earth star chakra takes you to the core of the earth, right? The earth star, that inner power of the earth, so that you're pulling up that power, you're pulling up that energy. So not only are you getting energy from the heavens, but you're also getting that earthly energy from inside the earth. And that, and so that's making you so powerful, because those energies are coming in from the heavens, they're coming up from the inner star of the earth, and they're just culminating inside of you and making you such a powerful, powerful individual that, there's nothing is going to be able to topple you. And this is very important to everybody, but especially people who are living the kind of life that you're living, because you have so many people who are drawn to you, and good and bad, and we're not going to worry about the good. Right? Good people come in, that's beautiful, love you, right? Thank you for being part of my life. But you can also have the bad people, and they may not necessarily be seen. They don't have a sign, right? I'm a bad person, or a necklace, with this evil snake thing on it or something. No, they usually come in very charming. They're very good at what they do, so they're very charming. They hide who they are, and we may not see them for what they are immediately. But no worry, no doubt. If you have that root chakra set, you have those roots set, you cannot be toppled easily. You have that code of ethics, that morality, that spirituality, right? Sacral chakra, right? Sacral chakra. Now this is all about your sexual energy, your creative energy, right? And of course, this is what we've been talking about, creative people, right? That sacral chakra needs to be protected too, right? A lot of times what happens is what we call one-hit wonder, right? They have the ability, but for some reason that sacral chakra has been shut down, and they're not creating anything anymore for whatever reason. And unfortunately for the world, we don't get anything more from them, and we lose out. And they lose out because they were here to express their creativity. All right, so I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to pull a couple of more cards before we go today. Couple more cards. Let's see what else the Spirit wants to say. And I think we've made the point how important it is to build up that inner Jerusalem so that it's not invaded. That's that solar plexus chakra, right? And I'm not going to go into too much of what the chakras are, because I just don't have time in this video, but there are many places on the internet that you can find out about the chakras. I will be doing chakra information later. Right now I don't have a whole lot of chakra information on my channel. So okay, so we got peace, and let me pull Let me pull one more. I'm feeling like, yeah, this one right here. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So we have, oh, death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Yeah, definitely. That's good. I have peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Beautiful. And last, but definitely not least, forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love, right? Okay. So, death. You know, a lot of people, when we think of death, we think it's a negative thing. And of course, it has this negative aspect. So we're talking about an actual death of a person. Oh, yeah, death. I don't even have to bring out, what all that's about. But right now we're talking about the death of a cycle in our life, right? The death of maybe some relationship, or some career path, or something kind of like a tower moment again, right? That our Jerusalem has been invaded, and something seriously has happened to us as far as our ability to have happiness in a career, relationship, something like that, right? So this is the kind of death we're talking about. And it says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings, right? So that thing is ended, right? But there is a new beginning. Life is not, you know how they say life, a lot of times when we see life, a lifeline that goes straight like that. But that's deceptive. Life is not linear. Life is circular, right? So we're in a cycle. It's like a year, you know what I mean? It's like a year has winter, spring, summer, fall, right? Back into winter. And that's kind of like how we live. We live in a circle, right? So we start something, it goes into fruition, and then there's an ending, sort of an ending of that chapter, and then we start another cycle. So it's kind of like a loop-de-loop, right? Like loop-de-loop-de-loop, instead of linear, right? And so when we come to the end of a cycle, that's kind of a death, right? It's kind of a death. And what this card is talking about. So when we come to that ending, that death, it's just the ending of that particular chapter. And then we begin a new one. We're starting something anew. So if you have had a tower moment, you have had your Jerusalem invaded, just like say, okay, that's the end of that chapter. Let's start on the new chapter. And when you start on the new chapter, understand you got to build up that Jerusalem, right? You got to have that command center in place. So what are you going to do? You're going to have your morals, your ethics, your spirituality set. Now that's going to be unique to yourself, but you're going to have to figure out what it is, right? Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So when we talk about illness, when we talk about aging, all those kind of things, what it is old energy that is sitting inside of our energy portals inside of our bodies, and it's corrosive. It's like rust, right? So we're kind of rusting away. You know, people, the doctors call it dis-ease, right? You're not easy. You're not feeling easy. Why? Because you have this negative energy. And so in order to feel peaceful, to feel easy, you have to release that negative energy. In the Bible, it talks about Gehenna, right? And Gehenna was a trash heap that was outside the walls of Jerusalem, and it was constantly burning. That's where they threw all the trash, and it was constantly burning. So, that's what we have to do. We have to take the trash out of Jerusalem, our inner command center, our body, or wherever, right? Whatever you want to think about it. We got to throw that stuff outside our walls, outside of our body. We got to get rid of that negative energy. We got to get it out of our body so that it can be burnt up in the atmosphere. Energy is energy. Once it doesn't have form in our bodies, once we get rid of it, it burns up to be used again. It's just energy. So it'll be used for something else, right? And so, but we don't need that negative energy. Get rid of it, right? Okay? Throw it into Gehenna. Get rid of it. All right. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love, right? Okay, so what is God? Truthfully, they say God is love, right? Now, they say God is a lot of other things. We ain't going to go into that today. But God is love. So if he is love, then that means that he is beneficial, right? So in order to get that benefit flowing through your body, right? We're talking about ease. We're talking about peace, right? We're talking about new beginnings, right? The death of old things. We're not trying to resurrect nothing, right? It's dead. Okay, let's let it go. And we're going to start anew. Like this year, it's the beginning. Right now is the beginning of a new year. Like I said, whatever you see this video is relevant. But I just want to talk about the beginning of a new year because it is relevant to what we're talking about. The last year, we can't relive it. We can't. You can't resurrect it. You can't go back and relive it. It's gone. It's dead in a way. And so the new year is new life, new beginnings, new challenges, new opportunities, right? And so in order for us to be clean and ready for all of that new growth, right? All of that stuff, then we have to have forgiveness, right? Forgiveness. So what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is benefiting yourself. A lot of times they talk about forgiving. Oh, you got to forgive the person or that situation or whatever. Okay. And so we see it as something outside of ourselves. No, forgiveness is inside, right? Forgiveness, again, is clearing out all of that negative stuff, throwing it into Gehenna, right? The trash heap, so it can be burnt, right? Burnt up and outside of us. It's not affecting us no more. And that's what forgiveness is. We're going to get rid of all that negative hurt, all that negative resentment. All of that stuff is gone. And we are afresh, right? So that we can have a new beginning. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. So that's all I have for today. Love you so much. Thanks again for coming through and spending some time. And, build up your inner Jerusalem. Build up that temple wall. And you will have a successful, happy life. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Yo, Dr. Cash in the mix.
Abia. Ije.